All right, so after all of that mess with the spurs, the coarse spurs, we drew some ears on. I guess we can kind of cut them in now. Yeah. Like that there. You get rid of some of this corner here. If you haven't seen my other video, I just did a video on cutting this utility knife blade down, and turning this utility knife into a carving knife. But yeah, I've been messing around with these utility knives here for the last little bit, and they work pretty good. Still, you got that little bit of play in there from the... With this one, you can't do it, but the other one, you could always put some like epoxy sculpt in it and tighten that blade right up. This one, the blade slides in, so you really can't get away with doing that. I don't know how these come, but this one here will be my new carry it around when I'm out and I don't have any other knife with me. Well, I always have a knife with me, which, I don't know, must be a Gen X thing. I think I've carried a pocket knife every day of my life since I was about 8 years old, because you always needed a pocket knife for doing something. Cutting a bale of hay open, or nowadays you ask a kid, hey, you got a pocket knife? And they're like, no. But you ask them, do you got an Xbox controller? Boy, they can whip that out for you. Okay, so these work okay. They're not going to replace a regular carving knife, but they work okay. Let's see, we got our Beaver Craft. Has no flex like this thing. What's this? Wow, wow, wow. So, I'm just trying to bring this wood. Yeah, this knife is... Ooh, got some chips in that blade. We're going to have to buff that out later, but we won't do it on your time. We'll do it on my time later. We got our Flex Cut detail knife. Always a good knife. And I'm just trying, because this is going to be hair here behind the ear, right? So, easily does it. Easily. Got to be easy when you're cutting around the ears. You know? Because if you slip, you're going to cost an ear. Going to remove the whole ear bone. So I'm just trying to take that out up to the ear and come back. This would be way easier with a micromotor. Maybe we'll do the other side with a micromotor. Yeah, I think we'll do the other side with a micromotor. Just for the yucks and giggles of it all. Okay, so that's with a knife. You can start putting your ear in. We're working on a corner, so we get to have a little shoulder on this guy. Probably not a lot. I mean, I think that's all we're going to get for shoulder, which is all right. It defines the shoulder, right? It says what it is. Let's go ahead and pop this guy out and pop this guy in. This is a carbide flame burr 3/32 shaft. Okay. And we'll use this micromotor because it's nice and quiet. And we can come down behind the ear I know I should be using the I should have my dust fan on, my dust collector, but then you wouldn't be able to hear what I'm saying. There we go, we got that one cut in. That's about the same depth as this one. I'm just running this around here to proof of concept, right? So you can see we're in about 1/16 of an inch here. And then over here, we're about the same, maybe a little more. Okay. And then we'll change that out. We'll get this guy out of there. And then we'll grab the saber tooth, coarse, straight. It's got a little bit of a taper here right at the very end, but most of it's straight. And then we can go ahead and do the same thing that we did on the other side. Go ahead and just get rid of a lot of this wood here. Because like I said, this is going to be hair anyway. See, I use my micromotor just like I use a knife. I put my thumb on the back side of it to steady it. Because this burr here is a little bit grabby. And we can get right up tight to that ear. Ooh, maybe we need to turn up the speed a little bit. And just remove that material. Definitely need to have on the dust collector with these guys. Yep, I can see that. So I guess we'll be doing a voiceover. We're going to use this anymore, which we are. Okay, so get ready for the dreaded voiceover. And here we are with the dreaded voiceover, voiceover, voiceover. All right, we're just going to clean up the back of this head a bit. Take it down. Bring it up to the hat. And we'll probably bring the hat down a little bit. We want to kind of keep the hat dimension from the head to the lip of the hat the same all the way around. Or at least that's what I'm doing here. And just round those shoulders off a little bit. Get up under that hat. Clean it up, clean it up. Yep. Cut that shoulder down a little bit. We're going to have to take a look at it, make sure we got them somewhat even. Turn the micromotor off. Oh, now we got the Dremel. We're going with the Dremel, the torque monster Dremel. With the cuts all flame burr. Cuts all extreme flame burr. If you like to save yourself 5%, go to Cutsall and use the code CARVROB in all capital letters, and they'll give you 5% off. 5% off. Woohoo, 5% off. 5% off is better than no percent off. Save yourself 5%. Okay? Or you can use the Carving Fusion code and get 5% off. Okay, so now we're laying out the bottom, where the feet are going to be. He's going to be wearing his cloak, because he is a wizard. So we're putting a big old collar on there, because we didn't go with the cloak over the head deal. We gave him a hat instead, which I like them both ways. I really like the way this guy's turning out. And this guy is for the Carving Fusion Chip-In giveaway. Roger won it in Texas, so he'll be cutting his way there as soon as we're done with the carving and the painting and the boxing and the taping and all that good crap that goes with shipping. Have I ever told you how much I hate shipping? Oh, I don't know if I hate shipping or just hate going there. No, it's definitely I don't like shipping. Okay. So I've decided that I need to go with a finer burr. So we're going with the Kutzall Gold Taper Burr. Kutzall Gold Taper Burr. And that gives us a little more control. It doesn't want to really, like the more extreme burrs like to pull. But the nice thing with the extreme burrs, or even this gold taper burr, is you can always reverse your motor so that it pulls in the direction you want it to pull in. You can see that big old collar we're putting up there. Yep. And we're rounding it down so it kind of shows like he's got a neck up, because in the front it's all going to be beard. All going to be beard. Say hello to Jordy over at Carving Fusion, my buddy Jordy Johnson. My brother from a different mother, Jordy Johnson, yep. And say hello to Amy Joe over at Amy Joe. She's doing that Man in the Moon challenge. We made a automaton. That was the word I was looking for the other day. Now I can't think of the word I used the other day. Automatons are mechanical movement, and animatronic is electronical movement. So we made an automaton moon that smacks the spaceship. Good Lord, what am I going to do with that thing? I don't know. I just don't know what I'm going to do with it. Hang it up in Walmart parking lot and let some little kid find it. That would be all right too. We get it out of my carving shop. I just got no room to hang anything. I guess I could get rid of some of my other carvings, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. Giving it away sounds like a good idea. I do that a lot. I'll make these little guys, and like if I'm carving in my truck, and I get done with one, I'll just set it on one of the over by the poles, like the handicap poles, or on top of a garbage can or something. Let somebody find it. I've done that with lots of these carvings. So if you happen to live in Western Michigan and you're over in the Fremont area, make sure you check the light poles, the handicap poles, and there may be a Just Carve Rob carving there for you. Well, or for somebody. Or maybe Walmart just does a sweep of their parking lot and throws them all in the garbage. I don't know. I know they're never there when I come back through, so I usually hit Fremont about 2 or 3 times a week, to go grocery shopping. And yeah, they're never there when I come back, so they're disappearing somehow. Maybe the Amish people are taking them. A lot of Amish people over in Fremont. So, hey, this gnome looks a lot like Cousin Jed. I don't know. I don't know if they got a Cousin Jed. I don't know. We're doing the knife work. We got that utility knife with the modified utility knife blade. Yeah, Timothy Reed. He had a good idea. He said you buy yourself a pack of refills, right? The refill blades. And then you can make them different styles and lengths and whatnot. I don't think I'd want one much shorter than this guy here, but I could see making them different angles, because the angle on this one's a little bit thinner than the angle on my other one. Oh, what is that thing? Stanley $299. That's not the price. That's the model number is $299. It's a non-retractable one, and yeah, I mean that one's not doesn't have as steep of a angle on the blade, so the blade is a little bit. It doesn't flex as much, which I'm finding out that that's a little bit better. I guess it all depends on what you're doing with it. And then the other downfall with this folder is the slop between the blade and the holding unit. Seems like the Stanley 299 is a little tighter, where how it holds the blade, but you know that's where the feet are going to be there. So we are just cleaning things up here, getting those feet rounded in a little bit, taking off big chunks of wood. Round over that back. You can see we got the arms cut in. We did those chip cuts in the corners. Up back to that other knife. The nice thing about the blade is so thin it slides through the wood so nice. Yes, it does. So we got to take his back. We got to get that all rounded over in the back. We don't want it to have a point on the back. So I'm just working my way around, rounding it around, round and round. What comes around goes around, you know. But we don't want to take it too round in the front because we want them shoulders. So you can see I'm looking at the shoulders there. And now we're cleaning up around that neckline where the collar is. Coming down. Making the arm more pronounced on the bottom side. Right there. Rounding that over. This guy has no legs. Just got butt and feet. Okay, so what I did there is I'm going to narrow up the feet a little bit, make them a little thinner. So that's what I'm showing there. We got out the big kahuna, the big flex cut Sawyer knife, I think it's called. I think it's called Sawyer. Sloyd. 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 I think that's what it's called. Actually, for a thick bladed knife, the grind on this thing is really, really awesome. Okay, we got the wire brush because we got our wood directions changed in 2 ways from Sunday here. So I got to go up, cut upward, and then cut downward, and then where you get that crease, they always got a little chippy. See, I'm using the very end of that knife, doing a swoop cut to round it over. And checking those ears out, make sure we got them about the same. Getting in there and cleaning up that armpit area. Shaving the hair off his pits. Yeah. Speaking of Pitts, Terry Pitts. Haven't seen him around in a while. Old Terry. He's over here in Michigan. Over in the bigger Rapids area. So I'm just checking my ears, make sure I kind of got them on the same angle. You ain't never going to get them perfect. Same angle and the same height from side to side. All right. Using the V tool to clean up around those ears a little bit. Cut a little bit of the sideburn in. That's what we're using the V tool for. We have to bring those temples in yet. Using the side of the V tool. Now we got the razor knife back in there. That's what I'm talking about right there, cutting the temples in. So we did that little scoop cut right in front of the ears. And just trying to even them out a little bit. Swooping up, scooping up. Now we're going to take that hat down, the brim of the hat, because we want to kind of keep that the same distance out from the head. Well, you don't have to. I'm just doing it because I'm just doing it. I'm just doing it. Do it, do it. Yep. Same thing there, just cleaning it up, trying to keep it the same distance around the top of the head. And smoothing it out a little bit. Re-angling the dangle of the hat there. Scoop a little bit more out of this side, right in front of that ear. Cut the ears back. I believe the ear should be just off center back. If you got the center of your hat, you want your ear just back. We're putting a center line in. We must be getting ready to put in the eyebrow line. Whoopsie. Yep, I want to change the angle of that. Like that there. And take that V tool and just kind of cut that channel in. Basically using the V tool for a cutting pencil to mark that in there so we don't lose it. Because once you start carving, you lose your lines. But if you got it marked in with a V tool or make a knife cut there, make a V cut with your knife, then that kind of keeps it where you want it. So now we're drawing the nose in. This guy's going to have a long nose. Okay, we're going to use the V tool, but remember to keep the bottom of that V tool angled away from your nose. Otherwise, you'll undercut your nose. And you don't want to undercut your nose because then you end up getting your nose super skinny. So think of that V as an L, and you're using the one side of the V to lay up against the side of the nose, and that keeps your bottom part of your V turned out from your nose if you're using the V tool, or you can just do it with a knife. Now we're going to cut this nose down a little bit. I've realized that it's way too long. We're doing a little 45-degree cut there on the nose. Okay, there we are with the V tool. I'm making it deeper with the V tool. Yep, just like that. So you got to just keep that V tool angled so the V is pointing away from the nose, so we don't accidentally undercut that nose. And we'll work them eye channels in a little bit more. Like that. Okay, I think you guys have got that. Let's skip forward a little bit here. Otherwise, it's going to be taking forever for this video to get over. And now you can see we switched over to the U-gouge. Cut those channels in for the eyes and rolling that utility knife in up underneath that hat to create the eyebrow, the hairy part of your eye, your hairy eye. And yep, I might be zoomed in a little too much here. Whenever I go with my left hand, the carving always goes to the right. And whenever I go with my right hand, it kind of moves over to the left. And I got to really keep an eye on myself. Otherwise, I wander right off the camera frame. All right, I did a little readjusting in the editing part of the program. I'm trying to cut that back just using the side of the V tool instead of picking up a knife to cut it back a little bit more. Okay, so now I'm working on getting those eye channels cut in there. Do a little eye booger pick in there. Get the chips out from the corners of the eye. Oh, now I'm way over there. Okay, let's adjust. All right, so we got them back into the center of the screen. And I'm working that cheek down up to the eye. Left and right. What you do on one side, do on the other. And we'll just peel that back. Yes, this blade is a little bit big for this job, but I don't know. I like it. Really like it. And now I'm trimming that nose back a little bit more to bring it down so it's not out so far. Or down so far, I should say. And we'll just keep working that the sides back, get that rounded over on the side there. And checking the eyes, make sure that the corners of the eyes are in the same spot on both sides. Digging in the corners of the eyes a little bit more with the chisel. And pushing those cheeks back. Well, what will be the cheeks. Okay. You can see I keep going back with that U-gouge to make that deeper so the nose pops off the face more. I like, when I carve, I like carving in pretty deep. I like getting that nose way out there. And then I got to make sure I keep the angle of my eyes, and that, because if you don't pay attention to it, what will end up happening, they'll look the same if you're looking at it head on. But if you tilt it on like a 40-degree angle, you can see that one of your eye mounds is either out further or in further. So I try to keep them so that at any angle you look at it, it should be. So that's what I'm doing there, checking on the eyes to make sure they're both back the same distance. Because I've had it happen. I'll be carving along and not thinking about anything like I normally don't. And it'll end up being one eye will be back further than the other. And then once it's all carved in, you look at it, you're like, man, that guy is kind of cockeyed there. And we'll just clean up that collar a little bit more. Trying to get you could spend forever just going around here digging fuzzies and little splinters and stuff like that out of the collar and armpits and all that good stuff like that there. I'm just doing a little chip cut there in the corner. Bring that nose out a little bit more. Now we're taking the edge off the nose on both sides so that it's not like pointy like a chicken beak. And I'm trying to round that over where the nose meets the eyebrow. And then I keep looking at it to make sure the cheeks are the same distance back. With the cheeks and the eyes are the same thing. You can have one side way out further than the other side, and it ends up looking funny when you're done. So just kind of keep an eye on that as you're carving to keep the cheeks at the same level and the eyes at the same depth. Now we're cutting in those smile lines that come down from your nasal passages. Usually you'll see most of my carvings have great big noses because I like putting the big snot holes in them, but not all of them, because this guy's got like a little bit of a skinnier nose for most of my carvings. Have huge honkers. This guy just has a long nose. It's not super fat, wide, or anything. And now I'm creating the mouth, barrel of the mouth, the mound of the mouth. So that's what we did there with the smile lines. And there again, those you want to kind of keep an eye on them, make sure that you got the same depth. If you round one side over more than the other, when you go to cut if you're doing like one without a mustache or a beard, your mouth will look wrong. If one side's in deeper than the other, you get that sneer look. So what we're doing there is we're cutting in, actually starting the mustache. So I'm cutting that in, going as deep as the blade will let me, so I can do this in one pass. And then come back and cut to the line. Ooh, we got that big one out again. Getting in there. Probably because I wanted to get past the feet. That's why we're using a longer knife. Makes it nice for getting up in them tight areas without having to worry about dragging your hand on the carving. And now I'm rounding that over. Of course, as you cut in deeper, you're going to lose your mouth hole, which I did. So I'll have to go back and recut that in. Now we're cutting the outside of the mustache in. And back to the utility knife, because that flexing that blade really helps out a lot in that area. Being able to snake it up in there. And we'll just keep working that mustache back. And cutting that in. See how I'm getting that chip out of there? And then we'll cut our beard in. Yep, that's what we're doing now. We're drawing how the beard's going to go on. Down from each side. And then we'll go the same thing. Plunge the knife in deep. On both sides. And then remove the wood on. I'm removing the wood on the face because the beard hairs come off of the face. Some of them I go with I'll cut the beard under the, like if I want a happy face, I'll put the beard lower than the face to make the cheeks pop out more. But this guy, I'm going ahead and I'm putting the beard, the face back, and let the beard hang out. Okay, so I zoomed in a little bit for you so you could kind of see what I was talking about there. I think I was a little bit too far away. And then I'm cutting the face down. See, cutting the face down so the beard will hang out more. And then I'm cutting that lower part of the cheek in. Right below the smile lines. And there we are, cutting the mouth hole in again. Yep. And I'm going in at about a 30-degree angle on each side of that so that it already preloads the lip to be round for me. So I don't got to sit there and try going back and recut the lip in and cut it in round. Because when you're dealing with a small lip like that, what ends up happening is it will rip the mouth out. It'll rip the lip off because of the way the wood is stacked in there, or the fibers of the wood. Think of your wood as a stack of straws. So if you try making that move I'm doing right now across that lip with a small little lip like this, it'll actually rip the wood because the fibers are really short and just kind of hanging out there. So you got to go down like that, like I just did there, in order to keep that lip from breaking apart on you. I found that out with the little eyes too. If you try going sideways on the cut across grain of the wood, it just tends to fall apart on you. So now I'm taking them, angling the hair back so that we don't have like a dead stop right there at the cheek. Okay. See how we're angling that back right there? So that kind of flows into the cheek. And then we're doing a little more. Like I said, you can sit here and pick this thing for hours on end. I mean, we took a 4-hour video and turned it into 30 minutes. All right, guys. So this is what he came out looking like. Our little wizard guy. Yep. He's going to be heading to Texas. I'm going to Texas. Bye. I'm going slowly. I'm going. Do I got to take an airplane? No, they're going to send you in the United States Postal van. Oh, no, I don't like traveling. Really? I get car sick. Well, too bad. All right, well, I'll see you later. I'm going to... Do I got to go to Texas? Yes, you got to go to Texas. All right, bye-bye.